Blessings to our fallen. Pray that they may find rest. Blessings to our fallen. Pray that they may find rest. Sendelius, pray to you for my Seeker brethren. Show us the path to salvation. Don't go any further, Godwoken. We need you alive. The ship won't sail. We had orders to search every corner of it and figure out what's blocking us. It's hewn from elven livewood. I thought I could communicate with it, but...
She glances over towards a smouldering pile of ash on the deck nearby. Something is nestled within it. Fragments of scorched bone.
That was Brendan. When the ship wouldn't answer my call, he touched the figurehead, and it attacked him, without warning. He burned, like he was made of parchment. Nothing. The ship is livewood, that much is clear. But I couldn't communicate with it. The Magisters must have done something, warped it somehow. I just don't know what.
Her eyes flick over to the smouldering ashes once again, her head held at a despondent angle.
Thank you. We were held captive together, on this ship. He kept my spirits up. Now he's dead. Just remember what I said, Godwoken. If you die, then this was all for nothing. Sendelius, hear us, Lord. Deliver us from peril.
Spare me, Gareth. We got what we came for. This is what success looks like.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper service.
What's-his-face and so-and-so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those Godwoken, after all.
You know their names, Malady. Can't you even pay them that much respect?
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye and smiles, barely.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken. Glad to see you safely aboard.
Very glad indeed.
Too many.
One too few, actually. Alexander, he's alive. Apparently, you didn't hit hard enough.
He's in the hold below decks. Unconscious, but alive. Question him. Someone has been hunting your kind, and Alexander fancies himself the only Godwoken worthy of ascending. As far as we know, you may even be the last still alive. If Alexander is guilty, he'll face justice.
What could possibly be more urgent than getting this boat moving again? She's mute. We need to free her tongue.
This is barbarous magic.
Expedient magic, actually. The ship is made of live wood. It has the spirit of an elven ancestor tree within it. It seems Dallas has found a way to bind that spirit to her. That means only she can control it. Unless we can find a way to break the bond.
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It hasn't been easy. This place is laced with dark magic.
These Seekers have such a limited skill set.
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do. And I hope you do too.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They kind of like to feel useful, don't they? That's the spirit.
You made it, Godwoken. Good. Not all of us did, though. The sooner we leave this island behind us, the better.
Ah, there you are. High time to stop gallivanting and resume our journey together, wouldn't you say? Off we go, then.
Oh, my favorite godless wolf. This is Dallas's ship, but she can't have been the only one who could get it moving. It'd be too risky. And Dallas is anything but careless. There's a way to move this ship on board, I'm sure of it. The figurehead has certainly caused a commotion lately. But then again, so have the doors downstairs. Everywhere you look, a hunk of wood looking to incinerate or stymie you. You'd be surprised. A ship like this holds many secrets. Hopefully you can discover some these seekers might have missed. Dying to hear them. Meister Siva is one of a rare breed. She'd do anything in the name of a cause, and her cause happens to be you. She's desperate to meet a living Godwoken. She'll be exceedingly pleased we're en route. We'd better not leave her waiting. She's a bit particular. She's the founder of these Seekers, and she's powerful. That means something when I say it. Your kind can reach astounding heights. Meister Siva can help you do just that. A place called Driftwood, host to putrid fish, putrid dwarves, and Meister Siva herself. You'll probably find it quite comfortable.
Maybe there's something about Dave.
Void Slayer, Worm Killer, Godwoken. You have many names. Let's add ship's captain to the list once we get this thing moving, shall we? She's not exactly a seeker. She's not exactly an elf either. Half demon, Meister Siva says, and I don't doubt it. I don't know how Siva came to know her, but Malady's a proper ally. She's not easy to like, but there are times I admire her coldness.
Gareth fingers the hilt of his blade. He stares at nothing in particular before turning his gaze back to you. He narrows his eyes, yet doesn't say anything.
Driftwood, of course. Little fishing village. Not very welcoming, but you'll brighten it up, I'm sure. Got family near there. Not the adventuring types. For the best, really. Meister Siva's there too. My leader. Our leader. She held the Seekers together when we had every reason to fall apart. Think of her as a teacher. The powers of the Seven stir in you. She'll reveal them to you. Show you how to manipulate them. I won't let the fallen be forgotten. I'd be no better than Dallas, no better than Alexander, If I just tossed their remains into the sea, to think that whelp spawned from greatness. He deserves no better fate than his silent monks. All this blood, children ripped from families, seekers ripped from me. He's down there now, guarded like some precious jewel, rather than leashed and flogged like the dog he is. Amazing to think those of us in the Order once assumed the gods were with him, and only him. That was before we found the others. Other Godwoken. When Lucian died, we waited, and waited some more. Alexander never rose to divinity. Then we started to find more like him. We weren't the only ones who noticed either. Not every Godwoken we found was alive. And so the Seekers were born. We found Godwoken, housed them, fed them. I loved them like family. I was naive. But let's leave the past in the past and reach for what's ahead.
Nothing on any of the dead bodies. Maybe there's something below decks.
Keep Lucian close, Godwoken.
Boring.
The silent monk leans forward slightly and stares at you straight in the eyes. She seems eager for you to say something. The silent monk leans from...
Melody says if we can get the ship to move, we can go home. Home!
Don't stare. It's tiresome. Yes, and had my mask not been stolen, you would still not see me. I could be an elf, a dwarf, a tall dwarf? Human! That's the term. Alas, I am naught but bone until I can find a suitable corpse and a device that allows me to remove its face and craft a mask. But you're quite right. I am not of your kind. I am an eternal. My people are glorious, prehistoric, and... thankfully, there are answers to be found. I simply need to get to Reaper's Coast, to return to the Black Pit's excavation site. The only treasure worth digging for. Knowledge. I was investigating a site where several artifacts of my people have been found. Some were even intact. Alas, I was not the only one there. Those red-robed idiots were scurrying about too, trampling precious clues under their ignorant boots. They caught me when I failed to correctly respond to their questions, and dragged me here. Still, it's good to be on the move again. They simply asked me what I was doing there, and I simply told them to be gone from my lands. I may have used the phrase pathetic mortals. Come to think of it, I may have used it several times. Damn fools. The faster we leave them behind, the happier I shall be. Is that so? Perhaps we could find an arrangement that benefits us both. I need to travel to the Black Pit's oil field, near Reaper's Coast. But my attempts at staying under the cover have not gone well to date. Given how well you handled yourself in Fort Joy, I rather think you could be of use. And I am certainly useful to you. So, how about it? I travel with you and aid you in your various chores and tasks, while you help me to remain incognito. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There is rather a lot to see. Splendid. Very well.
Ladies, a sturdy old tub. Take a lot to say. Empty as Dallas's heart.
Nothing but spiders.
How can one be seasick when one has no stomach? This is heinously unfair. This is perhaps the first intelligent question you have asked. After all, one should always try to learn from one's betters. My people are a race far beyond anything that exists in the world today. We seek to master the secrets of the universe. We craft wonders to last through the ages, long after your crude tools have rusted to nothing. I do not know. There are rumors that some have been found at the Black Pits. An oil field on Reaper's Coast. I was trying to uncover the truth when I was waylaid by these magisters. But wherever the artifacts of my people are, I will find them. We have not simply vanished into thin air. There is a great variety among our people. Some are tall and lithe, others short and muscled. Some come in a variety of eye-catching colors. Others you can barely see at all. This is what makes you such an abomination, you see. You almost look exactly like every other human out there, just as every lizard looks like every other lizard. Walking through this world is as repulsively bland as staring at a wall for a century. After a while, the very sight of you disgusts me. No offense, of course. No, I should not. Not yet. Not until I know what truly befell my people. And, after all, I am still here, despite the Voidwoken's best efforts. Set sail, for the love of all things, set sail. The sooner I am off this carved monstrosity, the better. Ignorant. I dare say I have a better knowledge of this world than any creature living in it. Oh, I may be missing some social mores or be unaware of what king waged which war, but why nitpick? Your history is an interminably dull list of mortals that were born, achieved nothing of worth, and then died. Certainly one may have expanded his kingdom, or another invented some way of pickling fish. But what does it matter? Where will your kingdoms be in 100 years? In 1,000? They will all be dust, along with each and every one of your great heroes. Your people and nations come and go, mayflies screaming their importance at a universe that cannot listen. But the universe is always there. The laws that govern your states change over centuries, but the laws of the world... Even when my people walked this land, a dropped apple still fell to the ground. I have yet to see the mortal king that can decree all apples must fall up from their trees, or order fire to produce cold instead of heat. No, these laws stretch to infinity. Understanding them lets you understand the world. That is knowledge worth having. Everything else is arguing over who has built the prettiest sandcastle as the waves creep closer. I fell victim to the enemy of all great minds. Fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of change. These are the things that poison civilizations. I was on the cusp of a glorious breakthrough, but my king's fear held me back. I discovered a veil hanging across the universe. A barrier of pure source. It was amazing. The kind of discovery on which a civilization turns. Who knows what secrets may have been hidden behind that curtain? But my king forbade me from further investigation. Do you know, I never thought to ask, between him purging me and casting me into a traitor's tomb. What a foolish oversight! If only I'd had your prescience and curiosity, I could have saved myself centuries of pondering that very question. Well, certainly he was not pleased with my insistence that we investigate. But the king's word is law. Was law. But the reason I was purged was slightly less intellectual. After the king refused to let me investigate the veil, I brought the issue up with others, the Seven Lords. Beneath the king in authority, but far above me. I brought them my research. I showed them everything. I had hoped they would help me convince the king of his error, but before they or I could act, I was arrested and, well, my sentence was carried out. I mean, yes, I suppose you could have drained the power from it, but that would have weakened it significantly. It would be quite irresponsible. After all, the power of the thing is not the point. It hid something. Who knows what that might have been? The secrets to the universe could have lain behind that curtain. But I was not given the chance to find out. Now, I fear I never will. He ceased to be my king the moment he turned on me. I did nothing wrong. All I wanted was to further the knowledge of the Eternals. Who knows? Had I been allowed to continue my studies, perhaps I could have warded off whatever catastrophe befell them.
The skeleton stands quietly for a moment.
I'm not sure. Centuries in a tomb can warp one's memory. I remember the big things, of course. My library, my home, my king, my family. But the rest, it's all covered in a fog. And the more I see of this world, the thicker that fog seems to get. Once I would have boasted that it was the best form of government. Indeed, it was the only form of government we knew. Living forever under the rule of a wise king is one thing. But if that king should turn into a despot, If he should reject philosophy and the natural arts for the sake of power, well, I cannot imagine a worse torture. I was a scholar, researching the secrets of the universe. Had I been allowed to proceed, my people could have ascended to godhood as one. An entire race of deities. With a perfect understanding of the universe, it would have solved all of our problems. Indeed you cannot. Nothing in this world compares to it. We crafted our homes from stone and crystal, using the power of the universe itself to keep them in place. Your people, on the other hand, seem quite content to sit about in smoky hovels, held together by straw and filth. It's a mercy I don't have a nose. I cannot imagine how you stand it. They came rather low in my life, alas. My wife and daughter always had to compete with my work for my attention, and my work was always stiff competition. They were often neglected. I wonder how many more years they spent neglected before, well, before whatever happened, happened. Well, of course it is. It was crafted with care. 100% ethically harvested from mortals, too. The quality is second to none. Oh, you simply wait until the creature is dead, preferably of natural causes. Although that does limit your choices somewhat. You may end up with quite a few sagging faces. I will never understand why you have so readily accepted aging, or digestion. They are frightful pastimes. Up to a point, certainly. They are frightfully loud, but the selection afterwards is quite good. The faces are often what you might call fixer-uppers, but they're young and quite serviceable, if you get them before the flies do. Poison is preferred, of course. No marks to the face, the subject can be of any age, and death is often quite peaceful. Not for them, of course, but it's significantly more relaxing for me.
Lady's a sturdy old tub. It'll take a lot to sink her.
Speak to me if you're looking for hired help. I've got good fighters of every stripe. They know how to keep their mouths shut too, as long as there's gold in it for them. So, what'll it be?
Hey! You're here! Pretty nice boat, eh? There's got to be another way to get it going, but we can't find a way into Dallas's room. Maybe you can see something we can't.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice its unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. For a moment, you swear a face appears in the wood. A face tortured and tormented, a six-sided shape carved upon its forehead. The face vanishes. The anguished face appears, then vanishes. The door remains closed.
What's this? I found something.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate for the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance.
A young woman shifts her weight between her feet, as though swaying her hips to an imaginary beat. She rubs her forehead, her face tight with concern. Her eyes roll up to meet yours, their great black pupils, greater and blacker than seem natural, expanding further as they take you in. She smiles, and the worry melts from her face.
Hey, it's you! Well, 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 we meet again. They told me you'd mosey your way down here eventually. Malady, the Seekers, they said you and I had something in common. That we're God-woken. Is it true? You're like me.
Being behind bars suits you, murdering scum.
Magister Ranley.
Well, kind of. You know about my, situation, right?
Can't you say anything else? Bloody magisters.
Right, exactly. I thought it was, well, nothing. More of the same, a sprite, a spirit. But it's a lot more powerful than I imagined. Malady said I should have met one of the gods when I had my vision in the Hall of Echoes. But I didn't. I met it. I can tell the difference. It was there, alongside the gods, unlocking the same power in me that they unlocked in you. I don't know what this thing is, but I'm gonna get it the hell out of my head and make it sorry it ever came knocking. What's your deal?
You keep saying that. It won't save you.
Ooh, the mystery and intrigue of it all. Colour me interested. You know, I never was much of a solo artist. Want to find out what comes next, you know, together?
I ought to chain you up like you're not.
It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to pick which one I'll pull out if, when, push comes to shove. Lately I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, summon, steal, whatever your little black heart desires. So, what'll it be?
Being behind bars suits you, but
Sounds fine. So, yeah? Well, that was easier than I thought, and I'll do my best to stay myself. Lead the way.
can't you say anything else? Bloody magisters.
Yes, by all means, let us partake in the art of conversation.
If it were up to me, you'd be swinging from the end of a rope, not locked up in here.
Magister Ranley, Corker's Make, the Divine Eminence Vessel, Lady Vengeance.
You keep saying that. It won't save you.
Yes? Is it not
Are you certain you want to dismiss your companion?
your loss?
I ought to chain you up like you're looked to me.
Magister Ranley, Corker's Make, the Divine Eminence Vessel, Lady Vengeance.
Enough! Being behind bars suits you, murdering scum.
Magister Ranley, Corker's Make, the Divine Eminence Vessel, Lady Vengeance.
Can't you say anything else?
Bloody magisters. If it were up to me, you'd be swinging from the end of a rope, not locked up in here.
Magister Ranley, Corker's Make, the Divine Eminence Vessel, Lady Vengeance.
You keep saying that. It won't save you. I ought to chain you up like you're looked to me.
Magister Ranley, Corker's Make, the Divine Eminence Vessel, Lady Vengeance.
Enough!
You are you, but more. You are another, but not. You look to your hands, your belly, your feet. Flesh you don't know, molded into unfamiliar shapes. You cradle your aching head, where another's memories and wisdoms mix with your own. Your fingers trace a line from your head to your face, feeling not the creases of the mask, but the porous surface of new skin. You lower your arm, blink twice, and step forward in this new guise.
This is heinously unfair.
Not locked up in here.
Magister Randy, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance.
You keep saying that. It won't save you. I ought to chain you up like you're locked into me.
Magister Randy, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance.
Enough! Being behind bars suits you, murderous scum.
Magister Randy, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance.
Can't you say anything else? Bloody Magisters. Swinging from the end of a rope, not locked up in here.
Magister Randy,
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexander the bloody Divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood. All right then, just don't make me regret it.
I'll keep an eye on the red until the cage is locked again.
A young magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot, so stow your questions. Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the...
The Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance. The Magister's stare hardens into an intense scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the Divine. All right. Don't harm him. I'll be watching.
Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle. Bruises swell beneath his eyes, and a shallow gash zigzags from his right ear down to his beardless cheek. Unconscious, he looks more boy than bishop. Someone has wiped the bishop's hands clean and folded them neatly over his abdomen. They rise and fall in shallow, jagged swells. A beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oiled rope. The gem sits heavily in your pouch. The door seems like any door, at least at first. The wood groans, the face vanishes. The word goes unheeded.
No entry allowed. No entry allowed.
Be gone. Our journey is at an end. I'll no longer tolerate your presence so like a pebble in one's shoe. Be gone. Our journey. Be gone. Be gone. Our...
No entry. No entry allowed. Please use the port side door. Listen up so I don't have to repeat myself again. I am not an entry door. Fine. Answer the security question. The password is fortitude. Now, answer the security question.
The face in the door is confused for a moment.
Drat. No entry allowed. No entry.
The door remains unmarked. The anguished face appears once more. It dips its forehead towards you and waits. A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door. It seems to breathe. All of a sudden, all anguish is gone. It gives you the sternest of looks.
I am summoned. Speak the password. Yes, and yes again. The word is spoken. Welcome to the stateroom.
Let's team up, you and me. Now, onward! Wish I had half a clue what I was looking for.
One more moment, please.
He clicks together two halves of some type of gauntlet sitting in his lap and turns his full attention to you.
And there. Rescued at last, am I? To whom do I owe my thanks? Armor? Such a limiting word, but yes, it serves that purpose, amongst others. Dallas has been keeping me prisoner here, but I try to keep working on my own projects when I can. Dallas took a particular interest in me and my skills. I'm an expert in healing, crafting, and more arcane practices. She kept me here to do her bidding. Until you took her flagship from right under her nose, it seems. I've offered my services for gold in the past, yes. But my labors for Dallas were far from voluntary.
He extends his arm and pushes up the sleeve. Beneath, the skin is withered and discolored, as if it were magically decayed.
She used some form of domination device on me, forcing my hands to do her bidding, and I've ruined them in the process. Well, the situation is looking immeasurably better now. You'll hear no more complaints from me. So why don't you tell me all about my valiant rescuers? To whom do I owe my thanks? You undersell yourself. The roster of those who stood up to the Magisters and lived to tell the tale is a short one. I ought to continue what I'm doing here. Unless there was anything else? Oh, cast spells, tinker with relics, meddle with the laws of nature. All the sorts of things power-hungry despots love to do. She had me enchanted dead cat over there, so it would seem alive.
He clicks the gauntlet into place around his withered forearm, his eyes on you the whole time.
But that damn contraption that she used on me seems to have fogged my memory. The rest is a blur. No! Necromancy is an unsavory practice, not something to be trifled with lightly. This is but a cunning illusion of my own creation, nothing more.
His face abruptly creases into a smile.
But come now, enough of Dallas and dead cats. You've taken this ship and granted my freedom. This is a happy moment. I'm afraid I cannot tell you what I do not remember. Could you pass me that copper wire just there?
An unseen force yanks the copper out of your grasp. Tarquin catches it and offers you a thin smile.
Butterfingers? I'm afraid I truly can't remember anything. Now, unless there's something else you want, I need to get back to my work. Dallas didn't tell me anything if she could avoid it. But I did overhear her practicing an ancient lizard dialect. Significant, perhaps, don't you think? Lizards apparently have ancient magic that allows them to control slaves that bear their mark by singing a song. Dallas must have had an interest in those techniques. Despite what she did to me, I can't help but admire the woman a little. She's unwavering. She will break before she bends. If you cross paths with her, be sure to break her. I doubt you will get another chance. Took it? No, I made it. Have you seen the kind of metalwork the Magisters deploy? This is in a different class to them. As I said, the Magisters left me weakened. But this will help give me the strength to carry on my work. I'm doing my utmost to be civil to you, under rather trying circumstances. Why must you push me like this? An active imagination. Overheated, even. Perhaps you should let this matter rest. Your blood is up after your adventures, it seems. You wouldn't want to do anything rash.
Let the creature live. He is hardly worth our time.
Something tells me that he'll only bring us woe, but I can't judge him yet.
I'm not perfect myself. It isn't for me to judge this one.
Unperturbed, he holds up his index finger in a one-moment please gesture before tightening a hinge upon his gauntlet.
Ah, that's better. Now, as you were saying, the hard way?
I'll yield to none.
Rivalon is this for?
Only one way to find out. Try using it.
What script is this? Whatever it is, it appears to be written in verse. I've spotted something. I refuse to know. be.
Those guards are victims.
Both, I fear. Another pyramid.
What's this? I found something.
For security reasons, please keep this...
The ring just got tighter. A lot tighter. Something isn't right. The ring's gone, but not his curse.
Warriors I have for hire, but you can't put a price. Glory Dell
I'll keep an eye on the red until the cage is locked again.
expert warriors for hire, all seasoned in combat. They won't let you down.
I'm a monster. I click and clack as I stalk my prey. My tail rattles like a snake's. I suffer. Mumsy? Is she here? Mumsy, where are you? 'Tis I, Booply Bear. I am quite changed, but don't be frightened. You? She sent you?
The cat begins to purr and rub itself on your ankles.
Any friend to Mumsy is a friend to me. I believe the song is around here somewhere. Oh, I don't know. In the direction of over there. Oh, I don't know. In the direction... As I said, not Mumsy. You'll need the song for that.
The cat purrs and...
Tell Mumsy to come back soon. Now that I am but bone, I'm too light to trip the moving door. I'm sure there's a rat back there.
Oh, Quercus, don't be like that. I was looking at his bone structure for academic purposes. There's nothing to be jealous of, honestly.
All that fighting will be worth less than nothing if we can't get this tub moving.
gone. Our journey is at an end. I'll no longer tolerate your presence so like a pebble in one's shoe.
Be careful around the...
Before you is a towering figurehead carved in the likeness of a dragon. It looms over the bow, its fangs bared at the open sea. The deck beneath you groans and trembles, like the ship itself is awaking from a slumber. A deep sigh emerges, unmistakably the sound of a living being.
You are not the witch. You are not Dallas. You sang the song. Now you must decide my fate. Are you to be my new master? Of course. You sang the song. Now I am yours. We may sail whenever you wish. Ask. I am here to serve in all ways.
The creaking of the ship eases into a contemplative silence.
Once, I was an elf. I passed away and was reborn as an ancestor tree. In a beautiful forest surrounded by kin of both flesh and root. That time has passed. I saw that forest reduced to a dead place. Then I was taken away. My memories were lost, like the leaves from my branches.
The sails overhead billow outwards suddenly. The sun is blocked, momentarily casting the dragon figurehead into shadow.
Magisters, they razed sacred elven lands and uprooted ancestor trees from the earth. I was one of them. They tore me apart and turned me into this monstrosity. Of course, wherever there is sea, I will endeavor to bring you. Consult with your companions and set a course.
The ship's awake. Good. Is she ready to sail? Please don't go. Well, what?
A slow
to driftwood then. Be quick, make him...
I'll be damned to the void, but it looks like the Lady Vengeance has life in her. Malady's raring to go, and I can't say I'm keen to keep floating to nowhere. Let's move!
Our sacred ancestor trees, turned into the slaves of warmongers. There is no time to spare. We have to put this island behind us. The ship is awake. We have to make good on our escape. Our sacred ancestor trees, turned into the slaves of warmongers. Our sacred ancestor trees, turned into the slaves of warmongers. The ship is awake. We have to make good on our escape. There is no time to spare. We have to put this island behind us. There is no time to spare. We have to put this island behind us. There is no time to spare. We have to put this island behind us.
You can always count on a dwarf to get things done. Looks like the Lady Vengeance has life in her. And I can't say I'm keen to keep floating to nowhere. Let's move!
Our sacred ancestor trees, turned into the slaves of warmongers. The ship is awake. We have to make good on our escape. Our sacred ancestor trees, turned into the slaves of warmongers. There is no time to spare. We have to put this island behind us.
Is it you who got her breathing again? That didn't take long.
Sacred ancestor trees, turned into the slaves of warmongers. The ship is awake. We have to make good on our escape. There is no time to spare. We have to put this island behind us. The ship is awake. We have to make good on our escape.
Tick-tock? God, it most certainly is. Forward.
With the sun on their backs and the wind in their sails, the God-woken watched Fort Joy shrink behind them. Of the Lady Vengeance had not gone unnoticed.
I'm
respect your metal, sorcerers. You steal my ship, kill my bishop, and ally with demons. But you have no idea what you're really dealing with.
We are ready, mistress.
Yes, but are they?
I swear, mistress. I swear they'll perform admirably.
Very well. Show me. Goodbye, sorcerers. This is my ship. I won't see it taken from under my feet. You, act!
Yes.
Oh, for the love of the void. Listen up. We can't win this one, but I can get us to safety. You'll need to buy me time. Show us what you can do, Godwoken.
Godwoken? Parasites, rather.
I'll take care of it, mistress.
With the help of the half-demon Malady, the Godwoken escaped through the veil that separates life from death.
The air here has a familiar smell, like the place you grew up. Old memories begin to well within you, but the sweet sour smell of decay suddenly punctures them. A faint creaking sounds in the distance.